Hi there. I'm Robin Wynn, and today is January 17th, 2026. And I'm inviting you to join me as we tap into the current human design transits. You could say the cosmic influences that are impacting all of our lives for the next 4 days. And we're going to be using human design essential oils to support us. The intent is to really connect more deeply with ourselves and to understand the terrain that we might be navigating during these transits. If you don't have the oils, no problem, just rest in the transmission, and I'll have the link to the oils in the comments if they call to you. So, last week the sun transited gate 61, mystery, reaching into the mind of God, and the earth transited gate 62, details. Yesterday, the 16th, around 2 a.m., the planets shifted. So you see here the sun moved into gate 60 and the earth, which is limitation, and the earth moved into gate 56, which is the storyteller or the wanderer. So the 60, just FYI, is individual knowing circuitry, and the 56 is collective right brain energy, wants to share. So the storyteller wants to share its experiences, and the 60 wants to bring something into life. So I'll talk about each of those in more depth. But for now, what I'm going to invite you to do is just, if you've got the sun oil, take the sun oil, bring it to your heart. Just, if you don't have the oil, just imagine, in any case, imagine the sun shining down on all of us, the whole world, whether we're in daylight or nightlight. The sun is shining, it never stops, and it's a neutrino stream of energy that permeates our entire beings. So we're just receiving the sunlight, welcoming that transmission, and then we're going to take gate 60, the gate of limitation. We're going to take that oil, or just open to the transmission of this. And if you have the oil, just inhale deeply. If you don't have the oil, just take in this sunlight that's filtering through this gate of limitations. So as we do that, I'm going to talk about this gate a little bit, and you can just open to receive the energy. So this gate 60 is the pressure to innovate and transform by transcending limitations and doing things differently. It's individual knowing. It's this pressure coming from that root center to mutate energy and bring it into form. So the root center is like fuel. It has this sense of possibility, and there's this creative process of wanting to bring something forth, but not knowing when something is going to come into form. So this energy pulses on and off, and in that gap between that pulse is where the mutation happens, like the space between notes. So you may be feeling a restlessness here. You might feel like limits are in your way. And if we're not patient, we can go into a collapse. That dynamic tension can fall into melancholy. So there's this pulse of possibility next to a sense of it's not going to happen, hopelessness. We go to our mind, we feel no possibility. So Ra said, when we feel we cannot affect change around us, look inward, accept the mystery of the mutative process, and trust that transformation is occurring within us and because of us in the world around us. So if your birthday is during these 4 days, you are always navigating these energies. or maybe it's somewhere else in your chart. Maybe it's a different planet that's occupying this gate of limitation that wants to mutate, wants to bring something forth. But for all of us right now, we're under the influence. We're under the influence of this profound energy of using limits to create something new. It's like needing a canvas in order to create art, or the riverbed needing, the river needing a river, something on either side of it to guide the river, needing river banks to guide the river. So for a moment, just feel that desire to bring something new into form, and maybe feeling where you might feel limited and where you might need to wait to allow something to come forth. I'm going to deepen this understanding a little bit more and bring in Richard Rudd and his take from the Gene Keys lens. And he's really looking at the balance between form and formless, gravity and levity. So in this context, we're using structure to launch and go beyond structure. So with this 60th gene key, the 60th energy, there's a lot of ancestral cosmic wounding that is embedded and calls to us to be liberated, calls for us to be worked with in some way. You might find yourself during this next 4 days with that feeling of your ancestry weighing on you, calling to you. And what we're asked to do here is to look at the way our mind sees our lives, to examine the way our mind limits us. So we get stuck in the shadow here. We get stuck by our own self-imposed limitation. And it might have been, an inherited gift from our ancestors. So this might be a time in the next couple of days to just access that and look at that. Where is my mind limiting me? Where are my thoughts limiting me? There's a profound understanding that we need structures and we need to be free of them. So we begin this work by looking at our mind and see that we are more than those structures, more than our limitations, more than what we believe in our minds. And something opens when we do that. Richard says we start to communicate to our DNA and we begin to open. It's a deep journey, so let yourself have these next couple days in depth. So with this understanding that, yes, we're going to use the structures. It's like the boat that crosses the ocean, the boat that's going to take us across the ocean to awakening. But at some point, we have to get off the boat. We have to let go of the boat. So this week, or if this is your birthday week, you want to think about planning for luck. Richard says, you set up your easel, you start your business, you use whatever the form might be. You don't know when or how or what, but sooner or later there's going to be a breakthrough. You just have to begin, and it has to come from your heart. It can't come from your head. You can't think your way to bring something new into the world. You have to come from your heart. You have to believe in what you're doing. And he says, sooner or later, fortune will find you. So just take a moment and feel this shower of this structures that are necessary for us, and yet that we need to transcend. Feel the need to start and yet wait for the moment to start. Be patient for when that pulse comes through. What are we starting? What are we beginning here? To honor the limitation and to work within our limitations this week. Then we put that oil away and we bring the earth oil and the gate 56 oil. So just feeling the lava, the fire, the ball of fire at the center of the earth, and the transmission as it comes up through our feet, up through our legs, our pelvis, our torso, our lungs, our arms and hands, into our neck and head, just filling us. And then taking that gate 56 oil. So this earth energy, this grounding energy, is pouring up from the earth. This energy that's calling us to tell stories, to wander, to have experiences. Ra says this is stability through movement, perpetuation of continuity through the linking of short-term activity. So here we're having experiences. This right brain collective energy is all about having experiences and then sharing them. And the experiences are important, but it's the sharing of them that's really important. So these experiences that come up, these ideas, there's no solutions here. There's just calls to action. So just taking a moment and feeling that part of you that wants to experience life or has experienced something. This is the seeker and never finding. It's just the joy of experiencing life and the experiences of life. What experiences do you want to explore and have in the next couple of days? What do you want to share? Who do you want to share them with? Are you sharing them with people who are available to hear you? So there's kind of an excitement and a fun here. Now I'm going to bring in Richard Rudd's lens. It brings another flavor here. And he sees that there's a trial here with this energy, this 56 gene key. And it's a trial of forgetting. It's all about how we forget, how we get trapped by seeking pleasure and pain, or get caught in that cycle of pleasure and pain. This is the shadow of this. So we're looking for experiences, but we're caught in them. We forget that we're immortal and we go to feed our desires and we starve ourselves of our true nature. So we're seeking ways out through distraction and we're trying to construct a life of happiness, but we're caught in that pain and pleasure cycle. And he says the victim state of this is getting distracted. So the moment we stop that cycle of pain and pleasure, then we're turning towards enriching ourselves, enriching our very nature. So it's a gear shift. And when we do that, it allows us to operate at whole other levels. So this enrichment isn't something we do, it's something we stop doing. So enjoyment in life, we're grounded this week by not going for enjoyment in life as a goal, but as a byproduct of our presence. So the city here is intoxication. So we're opening to be intoxicated by our true nature. So just taking a moment and feeling the bliss of our true nature as it pours up through the earth and fills our being, as we let go of the desires and the call to fill our needs, which are hungry ghost needs, truly, and just allow this bliss, this intoxication of our true nature to nourish and enrich us, ground and support us. Just feeling that. Wow, I can really Feel the aliveness of that. And before we complete, let's just take the 60 and the 56 and bring them together. So the 56, as we inhale, that is pouring up through the earth. And then the 60 is showering down the limitation and the transcending limitations. So perhaps we're walking into a story, a new story of that is beyond our limitations, and yet we use our limitations to get there. We're opening into bliss and intoxication as we take this journey home this week. Okay, well, hopefully that gave you a little taste of the transits of the sun and the earth this week. On the 21st, the sun and earth shift again, 2:45 Hawaii time, into gates 41 and 31, which is the start of the Human Design New Year. So we'll connect with those energies then. Meanwhile, explore what these energies are for you this week. How do they come into your life? How do they impact you? And go ahead and write something in the comments if you're called to. All right. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for the next transits.